Hi YouTube. Today we're going to talk about a couple carry options in 45 ACP. Because let's face it, what other caliber is there? Why carry a 9mm when you can carry a 45? So here in front of us we have a Glock 30S in 45 ACP. It's a compact version, thin slide. I've gone over it before on a couple other videos. And we have a Sig Sauer P320 Compact, also in 45 ACP. We're going to go over a couple differences, similarities, advantages, disadvantages, and we'll try and make a decision which one's better to carry. So what we'll do, we'll start with the Glock. The Glock holds 10 rounds and the normal magazine in it. So it's 10 plus 1, which gives you a total capacity of 11 rounds of 45 ACP. It's a pretty small gun. It's really thin. Everybody knows Glock's reliability. They always seem to work when they do. Very compact package for so much firepower in it. Fits in your hand pretty good right here. With the 10 round magazine, your full hand can grab it. It's fairly light. It's a great carry option, I think. It does have quite a bit of recoil because of how light it is with the 45 ACP, but I don't see this as a let's take it to the range and shoot it all day long. I have other guns that I can take to the range that are chambered in 45 ACP. I have bigger Glocks. This wouldn't be my first choice to sit there and wear myself out all day long in it. But proper training and everything is required, so you need to make sure your carry gun works, you're comfortable with your carry gun and everything, and this usually is my go-to gun. I usually carry this with me every single day of my life. Let's move to the next one. This is a Sig Sauer P320. These aren't really as common as the 9mm ones. This is a 45 ACP. It's a compact version. One of my problems with this gun is it's a little bit bigger than the Glock, and it only holds 9 rounds in the magazine. So 9 plus 1, total capacity of 10. You're down 1 round versus the Glock. But I must say, this gun, its grip and ergonomics is a lot more comfortable than the Glock. Just being honest with you. It just fits in your hand more comfortable, and it just seems to feel better in your hand. But I think it's because it's a little bit bigger gun than the Glock. It works real smooth. It has a pretty good trigger. I think it's got a little bit better trigger than the Glock. It just feels a little bit better. There's the reset. But Glock triggers are Glock triggers. Everybody knows that. Anyway, this is a good gun. I got a Talon grip on it because I think the factory texturing's a little bit slick for the 45 ACP, so I put this Talon grip on it. It's just a personal preference. It just makes it feel better for me. But let's go over a couple other things. So the way the Sig Sauer breaks down is you have to lock this back. You have to take this takedown pin loose, and then you release it. The slide comes right off of it. Fairly simple. Now, the Sig Sauer's main claim to fame, and we'll go over this in another video when we do the comparing why they won the military contract, but this whole fire control group just lifts out of this gun. You just take this thing here out, and it just lifts out, and you can change these modules over. I don't know why you'd want to change them over unless you want to change it to a full size, and when you do that, you have to buy a whole complete slide and everything. You might as well buy a whole new gun. by the time you get into it. But anyway, that's their main claim to fame, is you can change grip module sizes. There isn't quite as many available options for the 45 as there is the 9mm, but I guess that's a Sig Sauer thing. Put it back together, you slide it on here, let's lock it in place, take down, and it's back together. And you check the reliability. There, it works. The Glock is a Glock. They work the same way as every other Glock. Pull the trigger, pull it back one click, release the takedown pins, and there it is. Glocks are Glocks, they're all the same. So it's fairly simple how to take them down. Polymer guns are usually very simple, and everything about them is simple. Test functionality, good to go. Alright, we'll look at the size difference here. When you look at them head on, the Glock's a little bit thinner. Look at them standing straight up. The Glock's a little bit smaller. Look at it. One of the most important things people look for in a carry gun is how long the grip is, and the Glock is a little bit smaller. Look at them side by side. The Glock's definitely the smaller gun. So basically, this gun holds one more round and is a lot smaller and easier to conceal than the Sig Sauer. Now, does that mean I think this gun's better than the Sig Sauer? It absolutely does not. I'm just saying that it is a smaller package and will hold one more round, and both of them are equally as reliable. So, I mean, you would have to make your choice here. I usually try and choose to go with the Glock. I really like the Sig Sauer. I love the fact that it's 45 ACP. I love the ergonomics of it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't own it. And I do own this gun, so I use this at the range more than I do carry. I do carry it occasionally in different scenarios. I have a shoulder holster rig for it. I carry it underneath a vest on my motorcycle sometimes, but it is a great gun. I just think that the Glock is a little bit smaller of a package and will hold one more round, and the magazines are more versatile. You can use full-size Glock magazines in this thing. And I do have a full-size Glock 45 also. I can use those as my reload magazines. This one, not so much. You just use these 9-round magazines. But I think they're equally as good of guns. It's just, I think the Glock's a little bit better of a carry package in my personal opinion. But let me know what y'all think. You don't see many of the 45s in the Sig Sauer P320. See the size difference here. The tops of the slides. Just the Glock's a little bit smaller. It's just a little bit more compact of a package. So a lot of firepower for such a small gun in the Glock. Well, I mean in both, but this is such a small gun. I mean, this thing will literally fit in the palm of your hand. This one's a little bit bigger. I would call this like more like a mid-size gun. They call it the compact. I'd call it like a mid-size gun. I'd definitely call this a compact, being 45. But my preference, my go-to, is more the Glock for the carry. Not the Glock's better, but for carry purposes, every firearm has its purpose, and I would lean more towards this small Glock than I would this Sig P320. But let me know what you think. I just wanted to showcase both of these guns, show the differences, the size differences mainly. We'll go into another video, we'll go through them in depth and show each one of them all the functions about them, all the advantages and disadvantages, but I just want to compare the size and show you carry options for the Lord's Caliber 45 ACP. Neither one of these guns are Gucci'd. They're both factory guns. They have night sights on them. Both of them have factory night sights on them. So that's the only Gucci accessories that are put on them, and they were put on from the factory. So they're not pretty, but they work. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If I know the answer, I will be glad to answer it for you. If I don't, I'm going to tell you I do not know.